Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here for the Mountain Weather Information Service. This is your planning outlook on Tuesday the 21st of May. For the rest of this week, the weather patterns are fairly benign and slow moving. Not a great deal happening in the atmosphere across the British Isles at the moment. There'll be some fronts trying to come in from the Atlantic though as we head onwards into the bank holiday weekend to try and spoil things at times for some rain and low cloud. Difficulties with day-to-day detail with the weather systems still quite slow moving. I'd suggest for next week it's a story of sunshine and some heavy showers that will be the theme. Your days ahead then looking at something like this. High pressure is toward the southwest and also the northwest of Britain, and low pressure is over Scandinavia on Wednesday. A front which is tangled around that is just affecting the north of Scotland to give rather poor conditions to the far north of the Highlands through the day, with rain pretty frequently across the northwestern coastal hills. A few showers getting further southwards into central areas of Scotland, but largely dry for the south of Scotland, and most of England and Wales staying dry all the way through. Chance of an isolated shower, maybe a veil of high cloud somewhere just across Wales and northern England, but still a good amount of sunshine. The breeze fairly light, but rather blustery across the northern side of the Highlands and tending to strengthen as the day goes on, so feeling quite cool on the high tops. Still got the same area of low pressure and a front off the northern side of Scotland on Thursday. The chance still of some showery rain just grazing northernmost mountains, but for most places you're away from that and should stay dry. Again, chance of a very local shower across northern England and Wales. What's left of a weak front draped across Ireland and southwestern Britain may just nudge into Wales to give some low cloud and patchy drizzly rain, but it's such a weak feature, I don't think this is going to make too much progress. Just look how slack the pressure pattern is. Hardly an isobar across the southern half of Britain. Not too much wind. The complexity with that, of course, is there's uncertainty further ahead. Once you get slack pressure, the models don't easily handle what happens once changes start to develop. There's so many possibilities that could come from this. For the isobars across Scotland, though, what we can tell is that there is still that bit more breeze, so a blustery day, particularly on northern tops here. There's Friday then. What's left again of that weak front is somewhere across Ireland and central southern Britain, a zone of cloud, maybe a few spits and spots. One or two computer models make more of this, but I'd suggest it comes to very little, and with fairly high pressure still around, it's mostly a dry day. One or two brief showers coming into the far north and northwest of the Highlands. A general flow of air from the west-northwest, the wind looking a little bit lighter. All in all, a reasonable day should be on the cards for many places on Friday. There is uncertainty of detail, just how things will have behaved by the time we get to the weekend. The indication that we've got is that high pressure is trying to nudge towards us from the southwest and keep things relatively quiet, but complications surrounding fronts that are coming in off the Atlantic, they're looking fairly weak, but enough, I suppose, to give the risk of low cloud, rain and drizzle coming in, especially to the western highlands of Scotland, and possibly with time deteriorating a bit more widely. Still a bit to play for, just how extensive these fronts become. For many central eastern parts of Scotland and much of England and Wales on Saturday, you may well get away with a dry day with just the risk of lowering and thickening cloud across more western hills. The wind's looking fairly light as well. Again, treat the charts shown here with caution as we go into Sunday. It's the idea of fronts still around, not having gone too far from Saturday, but maybe coming in with just a bit more strength by this stage and a greater risk of more extensive low cloud. We're in effectively a warm sector which has got more humid air in it, so a greater risk across those western hills of low cloud being more stubborn, and of rain becoming a bit more widespread too, as those fronts just push their way gradually further eastwards. The worst of it looking focused more on western Scotland. Patchy rain could develop elsewhere. The wind may just strengthen too. I'd just keep an eye on the forecast at this stage. Expect possibly rather poor conditions. Just how poor remains to be seen. Now, most indications are back to essentially something of a westerly flow as we go into the start of next week. The idea of low pressure toward the northwest of us, high pressure away to the southwest, centred around the Azores, and a mixed westerly regime with some low cloud and some areas of rain and showers. I think as time goes on next week, the most indications favour fairly low pressure being in charge. Each computer model and each computer model run will come out with something a bit different, so I wouldn't be getting too clever with day-to-day detail. Anything that you see on forecast apps will be liable to chop and change over the days ahead, but I think an overall message of sunshine and some heavy showers, Those showers on the thundery side, if they do get going widely, so just be aware of that for next week. Low pressure trying to drag its way eastwards, which effectively opens the door to the air coming around from the north or northwest. So temperatures just taking a drop for a few degrees, I would have thought, next week. So temperatures nothing too special, just drifting downwards maybe over a day or so. We'll keep an eye on that one, perhaps update on Friday just to see where those temperatures do get to next week. Eventually there's a trend to pressure trying to build again from the southwest, but this is by no means clear-cut. One or two forecast models would take low pressure more into Central Europe, which could even see high pressure start to shuffle itself back further north of us. So by the time we get to the end of the month, it's almost anybody's guess on the computer modelling at this stage. But I think for that final week of the month, the general view of a showery week, a fairly unsettled week, has got to be the one that you work with. So I'd keep the waterproofs at the ready going into next week. Some quite dramatic skies could be out there with the air relatively clear and then mixed with some big shower clouds as well. So quite good for photography across the hills in that respect. We'll update the video then for you on Friday. Keep up to date every day on our website with all your local forecasts. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.